she's married.
Oh, no, Mr. Krabs. She's single.
Then what happened to Mr. Puff?
Hello, welcome to LTM Reviews, where I get you caught up on the oldest movies. Let's talk about Shark Tale. So Shark Tale was a movie I grew up watching back in the early 2000s. Stars Will Smith, Jack Black, Robert De Niro, Angelina Jolie, Renee Zellweger. Wow, a bunch of stars. Even Martin Scorsese's in it. That's rare. You got Oscar, played by Will Smith, who is a whale washer, or in our world it would be called a car. It's like a car wash but with whales. Get it? Okay. But then his boss, played by Martin Scorsese, says that he doesn't have the money to pay for his debt, so he kidnaps him, or at least first he bets him in the seahorse race. But then Oscar's horse lost, and then Martin Scorsese kidnaps him, puts him in a treasure chest, and abandons him out in the middle of the ocean with two jellyfish, which I forgot their name, but they're really funny. But then on the other side of the story, you got Jack Black shark, Lenny, played by Jack Black, who is a vegetarian living with his father, Robert De Niro shark. And Robert De Niro shark is trying to train Lenny to become a better shark. And then one day while hunting for fish, Lenny's brother, Frankie, gets hit by an anchor, confusing, and many people think that Oscar killed the shark. Confusing for a big catastrophe. Oscar becomes the big hero, but then Robert De Niro fish is getting some suspicions, thinking that it's not what he thought it was. And then Lenny runs away from home and then makes a deal with Oscar to pretend that he killed Lenny, and then he becomes the town hero, and now Robert De Niro wants revenge. Oh, that's a hard plot to follow. Now, I can understand people saying that why Shark Tale is the least known DreamWorks movie. I mean, the movie's nothing but pop culture references and puns. That's all the movie is. I mean, and it's basically taking elements from The Godfather, Nemo, and a little bit of Shrek because of its hip and being cool with the cool kids type of thing. But yeah, I think the biggest problem for me, and I have to agree, is the main character, Oscar. I didn't find him that interesting. I thought his ego was pretty unlikable. I didn't like how he treated his friends. I didn't like his ego. It just didn't. I mean, he's not horrible. I've seen worse main characters, and I know what they're trying to do with him, but it just didn't work for me. I thought Lenny was pretty decent. I wish the movie was about him and not Oscar, because I think Lenny's characteristics and ego was much more interesting than Oscar's. And the rest of the characters, like, I think Robert De Niro really tried his best in this film. You know, it's Robert De Niro. He's from a lot of cool stuff. And the rest of the characters I can care less about. You know, Martin Scorsese's fish is okay. Renee Zellweger fish. Angelina Jolie fish looks pretty bad in terms of design. I really didn't get into some of these characters, especially the main one. I think the sharks are probably the best parts of the film for me, but, you know. No, I know a lot of people, I think another criticism of the movie, guys, that it was comparing it to Finding Nemo. Well, here's the thing. While Finding Nemo and Shark Tale have both the same concept, it's not like Ants in a Bug's Life, where they both had the same kind of story and some things that were changed. Like, Finding Nemo was about parenting and adventure, while Shark Tale is about gambling and romance. Yeah, see, so they're pretty different movies, but they have the same concept, which causes the controversy. Though Ants in a Bug's Life is probably one of the bigger ones, so you know how this goes. My other problem for me with Shark Tale was that the story, I feel like the story wasn't integral to the story. Like, you know, if you set this movie with real life humans, I think it could have gotten a better reception, and it would have led to a lot of creative possibilities. Like, think of this as like a parody of The Godfather, which I think that's what this movie was trying to be like. You know, think about it. If this movie was set in modern day with humans, the story wouldn't really change. You know, you got a guy named Oscar who works at a car wash, mistakes someone for killing one of the Godfather's brothers or sons. Oscar becomes the city's hero, and now the mafia wants revenge. It's the same story in concept, but with fish. Is there any possibilities or positive things? The underwater world is pretty creative. I mean, yeah, some of them are filled with in-jokes, but I don't know any other show besides maybe SpongeBob with an underwater city. And I like movies that do that. The world's very creative and leads to a lot of possibilities. So it doesn't really fully work, but like I said, some things were pretty creative. The acting's fine, and that's all I can say about Shark Tale. Overall, the film is just kind of bland for the most part. It's not as bad as, say, Shrek the Third, in my opinion, but it's just kind of stale and generic. I give the film a 5, 6 out of 10. I guess 5 out of 10 would probably be best. It's just mediocre. I'm sure it has its fans, but looking back as an adult, it just doesn't seem to appeal to me. But hey, at least it's a pretty good memes though. Alright, that's enough for Shark Tale. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Please subscribe, comment below, let me know. I'm sorry it's been taking so long, but I just got back from Thanksgiving and I'm just trying to relax and get some school stuff done, and you know. So this is LTM signing out, and I'll see you guys next time.
Cool! I'm looking for my friends. I'm looking for you. Hey, there's May.
May I show you how I groove?
I got black, I got white, what you want? Hop outside a ghost and hop up in a fan on. I know I'm about to